Alright, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. We are in the second of 4 areas of the Darkest Dungeon. I'm not even halfway through this mission quite yet, though with the ability to light some bonfires, we're essentially on the, I wouldn't say the downhill slope, but we're reaching the peak of this mission's difficulty. You know, once I can get into the next room, and after I beat these guys, once I can get in the next room, I'll be able to sit down, rest, heal up my guys, reduce some stress, and give them a nice buff if possible, which will make it easy to fight the next boss, and then we should be able to make our way to the, right before the third and final boss, mini boss, whatever you want to call him, and we'll repeat the process by sitting down, resting, buffing, and then taking on that boss. And then that'll be it for this mission. And we'll move on to the next, I guess the third level in Darkest Dungeon. So again, we're right back to where we started. We're gonna use this time to to heal and de-stress our guys. So let's do that because again, this guy right here cannot do any damage to me, so we'll heal. Reduce our stress. Right now we're below 35, I think, on everybody. We're now probably at full HP. So if I can get another Jester turn or two, we'll reduce our stress on our remaining characters by 10-15. Obviously I'm going to use Leopard's healing ability to help reduce stress, so now he's down below 20, and we will start dealing damage to get rid of this guy because I was going to say I only really need one more Jester turn to get rid of the rest of Man-at-Arms stress, but I'll just sit down at the bonfire and do that anyway, so not a big deal. So
a spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
I got lots of food right now. I have a fair amount of healing items. So we'll focus on de-stressing our guys. We'll focus on buffing our guys. You can see, if you look up where it says Respite, the base level for Respite is 12. Because I've unlocked one of the buildings, it gives me an extra 2 points per leper. There's a couple guys. I think there's like 3 or 4 guys. Leper's 1, Abomination's 2, I think Hellion's 3, and Flagellant, I think he's the last one. You get 2 extra respite points for every one of those characters you bring in.
The light, the promise of safety.
So one of these guys is the guy I fought previously. The one in the back, I think, he's a version of it. They do the same, which I didn't obviously get a chance to use Man-at-Arms to cover her up, but I'll do that now. You can see they also do poison. So we're going to attempt to eliminate these guys as quickly as possible now that we no longer have to deal with the flying mouth moving guys. I don't know how to explain them. The polyps. We should be able to kind of just target one down, then target the other one down. That sucks. Not what I wanted. Bleed is good. I know this would be broken, but I kind of wish Man-at-Arms had like a rare trinket that allowed him to auto repost everything, so that you could spend more time protecting the guys that you need to protect and less time worrying about, well, has my protect timer run out, has my repost timer run out, because it's kind of like a deadly duo, if you will, having repost as well as guarding a character. So every time, if it's randomly picking between one of your 4 characters, there's a 50% chance they're targeting down either Man-at-Arms or they're targeting down the character Man-at-Arms is protecting. Like that. But, you know, like I said, after a couple turns that disappears, or repost, or, yeah, repost disappears. You always have to be constantly reguarding, reposting, reguarding. Heal everybody up. That's good. Good healing right there. Kill this guy. Good job. 59 damage is ridiculous amount of damage, but I appreciate you for doing that 59 damage and making this battle just that much easier. Yeah, this is more or less a foregone conclusion, provided I don't miss everybody. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Big damage.
This momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Yeah, I don't care. Head back to the start, and then we will go to the last of the 4 areas. So. So much like the first 2 areas, we are going to be fighting another one of those occult scorpion looking dudes. Those guys actually exist in the next level of this darkest dungeon, but they are much tamer versions of those enemies. So they're not nearly as dangerous, and they don't have a second turn to worry about. You only get 1 turn per round. Find something and kill it. I love it. Ideally, let's kill the 2 priests and keep the other ones alive, and then we'll just use our massive healing and debuffs to really just defeat the rest of his mission. I literally don't need 2 of you lush guys So I have no problem just targeting down the cultist priest here, and whatever happens, happens. You know, whether that be me doing this right now, which is to cause you to stun, which removes the defense. Fuck Death Flash. Fuck you. Flush wall. Someone's being naughty. Naughty.
Decimated.
Boy, that's what I love about Leper. Once you get him going, boy, does he deal damage like you wouldn't believe. Hellian's kind of a similar cast, but she tends to dabble a little bit in the bleed, so she doesn't get as much damage, but she does get a chance to bleed the character. So. Perfect. While I fuck around for a couple turns, you have a go-to place? Is a question for everyone. Do you have a go-to place, like you're going to lunch or going to dinner? You know, you're not really sure what you want, but it doesn't matter because this is the go-to place that you'll always go to regardless.
A singular strike.
We have a Mexican restaurant chain called Plaza Azteca in our area. I'm unsure if it is everywhere or just kind of more located where I'm at. But boy, I've never gone to Plaza Azteca and been like, boy, I made a mistake going to Plaza Azteca. Big beers, big burritos, big everything, and it's quick, it's fast. You get in, you get out in under an hour. Even if you've got a relatively large party, you can get in and out pretty quickly. The food's great. I love Mexican food, or whatever that you want to call the Plaza Azteca serves. I call it Mexican, you can call it something else. I don't care. Never gone to Plaza Azteca and gone, that was wrong, that was a mistake. We should have gone somewhere else. Now, mind you, since we're talking about a chain restaurant, all chains can be different. So my Plaza, I can get in and out of Plaza Azteca in 45 minutes with, say, 5 people in my party. Okay, you may have 2 people, just you and your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. You may go to your Plaza Azteca. It might take 45 minutes for you to get your fucking food. I get it. Every place is different. Where I'm at, place I go to, nothing better. And I do not work for Plaza Azteca. I'm not sponsored by Plaza Azteca. But we go there every Friday. We go to somewhere for lunch. We like to try to verify. We like to try to vary it. So if we go Mexican one week, we take all the Mexican places off the board. And then if we do Italian, then maybe the Italian. Well, Italian comes off the board definitely, but maybe Mexican and Italian come off the board for a week. And then, you know, we just keep going until eventually we've gone to 5 or 6 places, and then Mexican comes back onto the menu. Or perhaps there's some special that a restaurant's running, whether that be a local restaurant, a chain restaurant, what have you. We'll go there just to try out that new whatever. I'll give you an example. Since we're getting near Thanksgiving, we're getting near the quote-unquote turkey season. So there are a couple of places that we go to that have turkey specials, i.e. there's a place called, well, that's not right. I'm thinking of something else. But there's a local what do you want to call it? Food chain, grocery chain, and they own some not fast food, some gas convenience store stops, and they make a turkey sandwich that they call the Pilgrim, I think. And I know there's places, again, I'm a little bit on a Mexican kick for the last couple years, but there's the Goblerito. It's excellent.
A devastating blow.
So you notice the whole Darkest Dungeon emblem that has the 1, 2, 3, 5 points. It's like a more than a half circle, but it's not quite a full circle. And you notice they're like eldritch horror monsters on one half or the other of this broken, I don't know, crown of spikes. This one does buffing and the other one does attack and healing, I think. Plus poison. Or, I'm sorry, not poison, I'm stunned. You can see I'm sort of playing the long game, as I probably mentioned before. I don't mess around. In these final levels, I do not mess around. Because these missions they're very long. They can be tedious. And I'm not gonna play around and fucking ignore my stress level, my health level, my buff level. I am going to do everything I can to make sure that as I go into the boss battle, my guys are ready to not only beat, but stomp out the boss or mini-boss in each world. So, that's what we're doing right now. We're going to stomp out the final version, the final of the 3, whatever you're going to call it, Iron Crowns. And like I said before, we do that by making sure that going into this sit down, or camping if you will, we've got reduced stress, we've got full HP, so we're not wasting our time and our points on HP restoration and stress reduction. We focus on strictly buffs. So as we go into this boss battle, we're able to smush the boss, mini boss, whatever you want to call this encounter. And instead of having to fight for our lives, they're fighting for their lives. Not that these are supposed to be easy by any stretch of imagination, but we're giving ourselves the best chance to succeed here. Instead of going in here half-cocked, having to struggle out or fucking shit out a win. This is a great example of a game that fucks with you for such a long time that you don't, when you get to a point where you know the game's going to try to turn up the difficulty on you, you're already well prepared because you've already lost like a half dozen guys, maybe more. You've been fucked with the entire game. You've watched characters get stressed out. You've watched characters go from full HP to no HP, and just die right at your feet. You're at this point, you know the game's gonna turn up the difficulty, and you are so ready for it. Hopefully. Of course, you could be walking here with some level 4s, level 2s. I'm not gonna judge, but you're an idiot. Yeah, let's get rid of these guys in the front, the little flush hounds, and then we'll focus on Doomsday guy in the back here in a second.
Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
Yes, please. No. Yes. Alright, let's take them. Let's heal up. No, we're gonna heal everybody. We're gonna give them HP because that's what they need.
Sedated.
And then we can use our other 3 damage dealers to start fucking with these guys. Okay, yeah, we can give dodge, I guess. People, that's fine. That's a solid strategy, but it's more or less a... Again, it is a gamble. I gave him 20% stress. She takes 26 damage. Smash. You're dead. Stay dead. Die. Alright, we're gonna kill you. I don't care. You're dead. Yeah, I kinda want the hound dead. That didn't work, that's okay. We're just gonna wind up and hit him again. Another one falls. Big stress. That's okay. She's at the, we're at the end of the level, so she can take as much stress as she likes as long as she doesn't die. Yeah, stay dead.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Quest completed.
The maniacal cultists are quelled for a time, but there can be no celebration. Your progress is measured only in progressive realization and dawning horror. You are in the shadow of the end.